All right, welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Awesome. Today, we're going to be talking all about YouTube thumbnails.
Ooh, interesting.
I know, right? It's something that I know a lot of you are already thinking about, and there's this recent YouTube update.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
It's kind of changed the game for creators. So we're going to be looking at some analysis from a Spanish YouTube expert
Okay.
who's been doing some pretty fascinating experiments on his own channel.
I'd love to hear about that.
I think you will. I think you will. So to get everyone up to speed, YouTube is now automatically A/B testing thumbnails for us.
Oh, whoa.
Which is a big relief, honestly.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to spend hours agonizing over which thumbnail to choose?
Oh, yeah.
Always worried about tanking our click-through rate.
Totally. It's such a time-consuming process and, just involved a lot of guesswork.
Yeah.
So this new A/B testing, that's automatic, definitely takes a lot of the pressure off. But here's where it gets really interesting. Okay, lay it on me.
So the selection criteria, they're going way beyond just click-through rate now.
Spill the tea.
All right, so YouTube is now prioritizing viewer retention
Interesting.
in their selection algorithm.
Hmm.
Basically, they're looking at how long people actually watch the video after clicking on that thumbnail.
So it's not just about getting people to click anymore. It's about making sure they actually stick around
Precisely.
and watch the video.
That's a really big shift, you know?
Yeah, it is.
This means that we really need to be thinking beyond just eye-catching visuals and actually focusing on creating thumbnails that accurately represent the content and, keep viewers engaged.
Right. So if the thumbnail's overpromising, but the video doesn't deliver, people are just going to bounce.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
Okay. So how has this been playing out in the real world?
Yeah.
What did this Spanish expert find?
Well, he's shared some pretty compelling case studies
Okay.
from his own channel.
He's found, for instance, that you can increase viewer retention significantly just by tweaking the thumbnail.
Really?
Yeah. On one video, for example, he boosted retention by almost 15%.
Wow.
Just by changing that image.
Just from the image, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and then another video saw a big jump in both impressions and watch time after he ran a thumbnail test.
So it's actually making a difference?
Yeah.
But I'm guessing it's not a guaranteed, magic bullet every time.
You're right. It's not a guaranteed magic bullet. He did mention one example where a thumbnail change didn't have a significant impact. It seems like some videos are just naturally more engaging regardless of the thumbnail.
Right.
But, even in those cases, testing different options can't hurt, can it?
True. So it sounds like experimentation is key here.
Absolutely. This update, it's all about encouraging us to test different approaches.
Okay.
So trying different colors, text styles, the presence or absence of faces. There's a lot to play around with.
Right.
And, he even suggested revisiting older videos, ones that might still be getting impressions.
Oh, okay.
See if a thumbnail refresh could give them a second life.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. So we need to think of our thumbnails almost like a mini trailer for the video.
Exactly.
It's not just about, that clickbait thing. It's about giving viewers an accurate and enticing glimpse of what they can expect.
I like that, a mini trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think by understanding how the algorithm works, we can create thumbnails that not only attract those clicks, but also contribute to longer watch times.
Right.
Which ultimately benefits us as creators, but also the viewers, right?
Yeah, for sure. So this is raising an interesting question for me.
Okay.
If YouTube is prioritizing watch time in this whole selection process, does that mean they're moving away from the clickbait era and towards promoting content that genuinely keeps people engaged?
It certainly seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think this is a really positive step.
Totally.
Towards, a more authentic and valuable YouTube experience for everyone involved.
Yeah, it benefits creators who are actually putting in the effort to make truly engaging content.
Yeah.
And viewers who are tired of feeling tricked by misleading thumbnails.
Yeah, for sure.
So it sounds like it could lead to a more, sustainable and rewarding ecosystem.
For sure.
In the long run.
It seems like it.
Yeah. But I think what's even more fascinating is the psychology behind it all.
Oh, yeah.
So, why do some thumbnails lead to longer watch times?
Right.
What are viewers actually responding to?
Yeah.
What did this expert have to say about the viewers' side of things?
Well, he pointed out that, viewers are more likely to stick around if the thumbnail reflects the video's content and its tone accurately.
Okay.
So if that thumbnail sets the right expectations, viewers are more likely to feel satisfied.
Right.
And less likely to just click away prematurely.
So it's about creating a sense of trust and transparency.
Exactly.
Even at the thumbnail level.
It's about inviting those viewers in rather than tricking them into clicking.
Okay, I love that. So what specific, design elements or techniques are contributing to creating that sense of trust and transparency?
Right.
Let's get into the experts' case studies and see what we can learn.
So he found that using high-quality images, that was really key.
Yeah, makes sense.
Blurry or pixelated thumbnails, they just don't cut it anymore.
It's like a first impression. If it looks amateurish, people aren't going to trust it.
Right. And then there's the use of color.
Okay.
He found that certain colors were more effective
Oh, interesting.
at grabbing attention, conveying specific emotions.
Oh, like color psychology. Tell me more.
Yeah. So he found that warm colors, like reds, oranges, yellows, they tended to evoke excitement,
Yeah.
urgency.
Okay.
They were great for videos that, promised big reveals, challenges, things that would trigger that emotional response.
So you wouldn't necessarily use those for like a relaxing meditation video?
Probably not, no. For those types of videos, he found that cooler colors, like blues, greens, purples, worked better,
Interesting.
conveying a sense of calmness, trust, peacefulness.
So matching the color palette to the mood and the message of the video.
Exactly. And it's not just about the colors themselves, but how they're used.
Okay.
He experimented with different levels of contrast.
Oh, okay.
High contrast, where the colors really pop against each other, that tended to be more eye-catching,
Yeah.
especially when you're, scrolling through a sea of thumbnails.
Right.
So a thumbnail with like a bright yellow title against a deep blue background, that would stand out.
Yeah, totally.
But he also cautioned against going overboard with contrast.
Okay.
Too much contrast can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
Actually make the thumbnail harder to read.
True.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot, that balance
Right.
between grabbing attention and maintaining that clarity.
Makes sense. What about text?
Text, yeah. So he found that clear, concise text that was essential.
Okay.
He recommended using a font that's easy to read,
Yeah.
even when the thumbnail is small.
Makes sense.
And sticking to just a few key words or phrases
Okay.
that accurately represent the video's content.
So no more trying to cram a whole paragraph onto the thumbnail.
No, definitely not. And he also played around with different placements for the text.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes overlaying it on the image, other times putting it in a separate bar, like at the top or the bottom.
Okay, yeah.
He found that the best placement really just depended on the image itself, the overall design of the thumbnail.
So it sounds like there's a lot of trial and error involved here.
Definitely.
Testing different options to see what works best for each video.
Yeah, there's no one-size-fits-all formula.
Right.
But, by understanding the basic principles of design, we can make those more informed decisions, right? Create thumbnails that are both visually appealing and effective.
I love how this expert is really thinking like a scientist. He's systematically testing and analyzing the results.
Totally. And he's so generously sharing his findings with us.
Oh, that's great.
Which brings me to another interesting point. He didn't just analyze which thumbnails led to higher click-through rates and watch times.
Yeah.
He looked at the impact on the comment section, too.
Oh, wow. That's a good point. I'd never thought about that.
Yeah, so he noticed that when he used thumbnails that accurately reflected the video's content, the comments tended to be more focused.
Okay, interesting.
And relevant,
Yeah.
Viewers clearly understanding what the video is about and engaging with the topic,
Right.
in a more meaningful way.
That's fascinating. So it's not just about getting people to watch the video. It's about shaping that whole viewing experience, even the comments.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about the post-viewing discussion as well.
Yeah.
And, on the flip side, when he used thumbnails that were a bit more clickbaity or misleading,
Yeah.
the comments section, it often, devolved into complaints off-topic discussions.
Right, because they felt tricked.
Exactly. Yeah, viewers felt tricked. And their comments, they reflected that frustration.
Right. So if the thumbnail sets up false expectations, people are going to be disappointed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're going to let you know about it in the comments.
Exactly. So this whole new emphasis on watch time, it's not just about, gaming the algorithm.
Yeah.
It's about creating a more genuine experience.
Yeah.
For everyone.
I'm seeing the bigger picture here. It's a shift towards a more authentic YouTube,
Yeah.
a more sustainable YouTube.
For sure.
But I'm curious, how has this update been received by, the YouTube community as a whole?
Right.
Has everyone embraced this change?
Well, it's definitely been met with mixed reactions.
I can imagine.
Some creators, they're thrilled. They see it as a way to reward quality content, discourage clickbait. Others, they're feeling a bit overwhelmed,
Okay.
unsure of how to adapt their strategies.
Yeah.
Maybe concerned about potentially losing views.
It is a big adjustment.
It is, yeah.
But it sounds like the creators who are willing to, embrace this change, experiment with new approaches,
Yeah.
they're the ones that are going to succeed.
Absolutely. And, this Spanish expert, he's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
He's not just complaining about the algorithm, he's trying to understand it.
Yeah.
Use it to his advantage.
I love that approach. It's so inspiring. It's like we have more control than we realize
Right.
over our success.
You're not powerless against the algorithm.
Yeah.
You can use it as a tool.
Exactly.
Create better content.
Yeah.
Connect with your audience.
Exactly. And he was pointing out, this change, it's not just about individual creators.
Right.
It's about the future of online content as a whole. So, if platforms like YouTube are prioritizing watch time over those fleeting clicks, it could lead to, a more thoughtful internet.
Well, yeah.
A more valuable internet.
Yeah, sure. For sure. That's an exciting thought.
It is, but I'm also wondering how this might impact the types of videos that get made.
Right.
If watch time is king, does that mean we're going to see a rise in longer videos?
Yeah, that's a common concern. But the expert was quick to kind of dispel that myth.
Oh, okay.
He emphasized that video length in itself is not a determining factor in the algorithm.
So it's not about making your video artificially long.
No, not at all.
Just to boost that watch time.
The key is to create videos that are as long as they need to be.
Okay.
To effectively convey that message, tell the story.
Okay.
He used a great analogy. Think of it like a movie.
Okay.
Right? A 2-hour movie that keeps you on the edge of your seat. That's far more engaging than a 3-hour movie that kind of drags on and loses your interest halfway through.
That's a perfect example, yeah.
Right. So it's not about the clock. It's about the content and how effectively it captures that viewer's attention.
Exactly. So even short videos can do really well.
Absolutely.
If they're well crafted and they deliver,
Totally. Think of those like viral TikToks that are, just a minute long.
Yeah.
But they're just so addictive.
They keep you hooked.
Right. It's about packing a punch.
Yeah, totally. So we need to be focusing on crafting videos that are, concise,
Yes,
engaging, and they deliver on the expectations set by our thumbnails.
Exactly, precisely.
Yeah.
And I think by understanding the nuances of YouTube's algorithm and adapting our strategies,
right,
we can create content that really thrives in this kind of evolving online video landscape.
Yeah.
But he didn't stop there. He actually went a step further.
Oh, okay.
And he delved into the data behind these thumbnail changes.
I love data. Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
All right. So, he was really stressing the importance of regularly checking that analytics dashboard.
Makes sense.
Paying close attention to metrics like click-through rate, watch time, and audience retention.
Yeah. So much valuable information there.
Right.
So how can we actually use those metrics to inform our thumbnail choices?
Yeah, so he had some great tips. He recommended focusing on the impressions tab, which shows how many times our thumbnails have been displayed to viewers.
Okay.
So if a video is getting a lot of impressions, but the click-through rate is low, that's a sign that the thumbnail's probably not doing its job.
Right, exactly.
And he also talked about the importance of analyzing audience retention.
Okay.
This shows us where viewers are dropping off in our videos.
Okay.
Which can be really helpful for identifying potential issues, right?
So if you see like a big dip,
yeah,
at a certain point, it could be because that section of the video is boring or confusing.
Totally.
Or maybe there's like a technical glitch.
Right. Yeah, the audio drops or something.
Analyzing audience retention can help you pinpoint those issues, right?
Yeah.
And improve your videos.
Wow, yeah.
For future viewers.
So we can really use all this data
absolute.
To make our videos more engaging and keep people watching until the end.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like a masterclass in YouTube analytics.
It is. It is.
I love it.
You know, he also shared some really specific tactics for using analytics to optimize those thumbnails.
Oh, okay, like what?
For example, he recommended focusing on videos that have received impressions within the last 90 days.
Why 90 days?
Well, because it indicates that YouTube's still showing those videos to viewers.
Okay.
So, you know, optimizing their thumbnails could lead to a significant uptick in engagement.
Okay, yeah.
And he cautioned against, you know, wasting time on videos that are no longer receiving impressions.
Right.
Because, you know, in those cases, a thumbnail change, it's unlikely to make a difference.
It's all about being strategic. Exactly. You know, focusing your efforts where they'll have the biggest impact.
Exactly. Exactly. So analyzing the data is only part of it.
Right.
He also talked about understanding the psychology behind thumbnail design.
Yes, exactly.
So how are visuals influencing our behavior?
Right.
What did he have to say about that?
Well, he talked about the power of color psychology, which we, touched on earlier.
Yeah.
But he went deeper.
Okay.
Talking about how certain colors evoke specific emotions and associations.
Okay.
For example, he said that blue often conveys trust and reliability. Which is why it's often used by brands and institutions.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of banks use blue in their logo.
Exactly right.
Yep.
And then you have red, which is often associated with, excitement, passion, even danger.
Okay.
It's a very attention-grabbing color.
Yeah.
Which is why it's often used for warning signs and sale banners.
Right. So if you're making a video about an extreme sport or something, red would be a good color to use.
Exactly. He also talked about the psychology of facial expressions.
Okay.
He found that thumbnails featuring faces, especially faces that were expressing strong emotions, they tended to be more eye-catching and engaging.
Our brains are wired to respond to faces.
Totally, yeah.
It's how we connect.
But he cautioned against using facial expressions that are misleading or exaggerated.
Right.
If the thumbnail shows someone looking like shocked or terrified.
Yeah.
But the video content isn't actually that dramatic.
Right.
It can lead to that viewer disappointment.
It's all about authenticity.
Yes, we need to be genuine.
Even in our thumbnails.
Even in our thumbnails, exactly.
I love it.
He also discussed, the importance of visual hierarchy.
Okay.
Which is how we arrange elements in a design to guide the viewer's eye.
Okay.
And emphasize certain information.
So like making the text bigger.
Exactly, yeah. Or using contrasting colors to make certain elements pop. He said that a well-designed thumbnail, it should have a clear focal point.
Okay.
Something that immediately grabs that viewer's attention.
Right.
And tells them what the video's about.
So much strategy goes into this. It's like a mini marketing campaign.
It is.
For each video.
He also shared some really interesting case studies.
Oh, I love a good case study.
Yeah.
What did he find?
That illustrate these principles in action.
Awesome. Let's get into it.
So one case study, it involved a video that was experiencing declining views.
Okay.
The content was still really relevant, valuable.
Okay.
But the thumbnail, it was outdated. It wasn't really resonating with viewers anymore.
So he decided to refresh it.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
He experimented with different images, colors, text placements, using his analytics data to track the impact.
And what happened?
The results were dramatic.
Really?
Simply by updating the thumbnail.
Wow.
He was able to revive the video's performance, significantly increasing those views and watch time.
From the thumbnail.
From the thumbnail.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's proof that even, small changes can make a big difference.
For sure.
Right. And it's also a reminder, we shouldn't be afraid to experiment, try new things.
Yeah.
What worked a year ago might not work today.
Yeah.
So, it's important to stay adaptable, keep learning.
I'm so inspired to go revamp all my thumbnails now.
I know, right?
This is gold. I am curious, though, to hear more about the expert's, personal experience.
Yeah.
What were some of the biggest challenges he faced?
Right.
When adapting to this new algorithm?
Well, he admitted that, it was initially a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
There was a learning curve involved.
Yeah.
It took some time to figure out what worked best for his channel.
I bet, yeah.
But he said the biggest surprise for him was how much of an impact these changes had on his channel's overall performance.
Okay.
Not just views and watch time.
Right.
But audience engagement.
Oh.
The quality of the comment section.
So it's really shaping the way that people are interacting with his content.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he said it's like he's built a stronger connection with his audience, and that's what motivates him
Yeah, I love
to
it.
keep creating.
That's so inspiring. It's a reminder that, we're not just making videos for an algorithm, we're making them for real people.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're looking to be entertained,
Right.
informed, inspired.
And when we create content that resonates with our audience, the algorithm will reward us.
I love that perspective.
Yeah.
It's about putting the focus back on the human element.
Exactly. Yeah. And, he emphasized this is just the beginning.
Oh, okay.
He believes YouTube will continue to evolve this algorithm
Okay.
to prioritize that quality content
Right.
and meaningful engagement.
So we just need to be prepared to,
Adapt.
and learn as we go.
Exactly. So the key is to stay curious, experiment,
Yes.
always be learning.
Totally.
I'm so glad we did this deep dive today.
Me too.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Just been a fascinating exploration.
I know our listeners are probably feeling inspired too.
Yeah, hopefully.
So before we wrap up, let's recap.
Okay.
What are the key takeaways
All right, let's distill those golden nuggets.
from this deep dive?
Yeah.
So first and foremost, YouTube's algorithm is prioritizing watch time.
Absolutely.
So we need to think beyond clickbait
Yeah.
and create thumbnails that accurately represent our content
Right.
and keep viewers engaged.
Totally.
Yeah.
High quality images,
Yes.
strategic color choices,
Yes.
clear and concise text,
Yes.
a deep understanding of those design principles.
Yeah.
Those are all essential.
We also learned about, the importance of data analysis.
For sure.
Using those metrics like click-through rate, watch time, audience retention to inform our choices and to identify those areas for improvement in our video.
Right.
And we explored the psychology behind thumbnail design, understanding how, colors, facial expressions, visual hierarchy, how that influences viewer behavior.
Exactly.
And, we talked about the expert's experimental approach, reminding us to be open to trying new things.
Definitely.
Testing different options, adapting our strategies based on what we learned.
It's all about being proactive, curious,
Yeah.
data-driven.
And perhaps most importantly,
Yeah.
we were reminded that creating content for YouTube is about more than just chasing views.
Absolutely.
Gaming the algorithm.
Right.
It's about building those genuine connections with our audience.
Yes.
Providing value.
Yes.
Making a positive impact.
Beautifully said.
On the world.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
It is a great note to end on, but I want to leave our listeners with one final thought-provoking question.
Ooh, okay. I like it.
To ponder, if YouTube is prioritizing watch time over just clicks, what does that mean for the future of online content?
Ooh, that's a really good one.
I know, right? It makes you think.
It does.
It really does. What's your take on it?
Well, I think it points to a larger shift that's been happening online.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too.
Yeah. So, for a long time, the internet has been dominated by these, quick hits, short attention spans.
It's all about grabbing attention.
Exactly. Yeah. The constant pursuit of the next viral sensation.
Right.
But I think we're starting to see this craving for something more substantial.
Content that has depth.
Exactly. Yeah. People are tired of feeling overwhelmed, bombarded with superficial information.
Oh, I can relate to that. Sometimes I feel like I'm just drowning in a sea of clickbait and just shallow content.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people feel that way, and that's why this shift on YouTube is so significant.
It's like they're sending a message that, quality content matters.
Absolutely.
It does.
And by prioritizing watch time, they're encouraging creators to slow down, to focus on substance, to build those genuine connections with their audience.
It's about creating an experience that's enriching, fulfilling, not just fleeting and forgettable.
Exactly. And I think this trend will extend beyond YouTube.
You think so? So you think we'll start to see this emphasis on quality content on other platforms as well?
I do. I think as viewers become more discerning, other platforms will need to adapt or risk losing their audience.
It's like a natural evolution.
I think so.
We're moving from this culture of quantity to a culture of quality.
I love that.
That's exciting. It is exciting. It really is. It means that we're kind of entering this new era of online content.
Yes.
One that's more thoughtful, more engaging.
And meaningful.
And more meaningful. And as creators, we have the opportunity to be at the forefront of this.
To be the pioneers of this new wave.
Yes, of quality content. And I think this expert, the one we've been talking about, he's giving us kind of a roadmap.
A blueprint.
A blueprint, exactly.
Yeah.
He's shown us that by, understanding the algorithm,
right,
experimenting with different approaches, always prioritizing the viewer's experience.
Yes.
We can create content that not only succeeds, but also makes a difference.
I love that.
It really does. It's a good reminder that we have the power
absolutely
to shape the future of online content.
Would you?
We can create a world where viewers are rewarded with these valuable, engaging experiences, and creators are rewarded for, their hard work.
And their dedication.
Exactly.
It's a win-win.
It is a win-win for everyone. I love that vision.
Me too.
And it all starts with taking that first step.
One step at a time.
Towards creating content that matters. So if you're out there listening to this, feeling inspired, don't be afraid to experiment.
Push those boundaries.
Push your creative boundaries.
Yes.
And never stop learning.
That's key.
The future of online content is in our hands.
It really is.
Let's make it amazing.
Let's do it. All right, so
that's it for this week's Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll be back soon with more fascinating insights.
We will.
More thought-provoking discussions.
Keep creating. Keep creating.
And keep inspiring.
And most importantly,
keep watching.
Keep watching. We'll see you next time.